Welcome back to the Two Alphas Talk. And tonight we're going to talk to you about carrying around in the chamber, the pros and the cons, and also a recap of our previous last week's training.
Yep.
Yeah, we go.
All right, we're back. There we are. I'm trying to pull up our West Michigan feed so I can monitor the chat. All right. Um, here we go. All right, everybody, we're back. And first thing we're going to thank is the lovely sponsor of the show. And let me find that. Boom. There it is. Going to saberteamtactical.com. If you notice on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we have Right to Bear. This is a protection program if you get involved in any type of shooting altercation or if you use a blunt or sharp object to defend yourself. And
Karate too.
yeah,
Martial
karate.
arts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fist too. And they will protect you with legal. They will protect you with bail. They will also protect you with legal advice and an attorney, and represent you in your court case, and also protect you from countersuits that's going to take place after if somebody was injured or seriously their life was taken. And so use the code SABER when you sign up, and you will save an additional $2 a month, and if you sign up, and all the features, just click on that tab, and it'll take you straight to the website, and you can see Right to Bear, $15 a month. You put in Saber, it's going to drop it down to 13 a month. And it will cover unlimited civil and criminal defense, psychological support, expert witness, firearm self-defense training and education, and a quarterly newsletter and discounts to industry partners. So jump on that. You can't go wrong. It is an excellent program. Me and Al are members. And this is one of the best programs we're seeing because
Absolutely.
if you're found guilty, they do not ask for the money back. And like other programs, it starts with a U. And so it does. So you might want to jump on this. And once you get through signing up for that, go to the tab that says the classes, and there you go, Al.
Yep. And as you guys may have know already, our bailiwick is the private one-on-one training. And we'll get out there, go through an assessment to figure out where you are, where you stand with a firearm, and then we'll move from there. Everyone does it. The three of us, should I say, we all do the same program. After you select the instructor that you want to work with, we'll make sure that we understand your needs, and then we'll go from there. The next thing is any of the topics that you see we can present. We have lesson plans for all of them. We have experience in all the firearms that we train, and we'll get out there and get you up to speed. Scroll down a little bit.
Okay. There you go.
Yep. So we just finished the Stop the Bleed Medical and Rifle Battle class, which is an outstanding class. Every time you do it, you get your hands on, you know certain things, but then when you do it, it's like a review for us. And sometimes with people who are out there, especially this weekend, guys that have had military and law enforcement experience, they said the same thing. It was like, even though they know it and they'll jump right to it, have to get out there and do it on demand is really a plus. So that was a great class. And if you ever get an opportunity to take the class, especially for this guy down here, let me see right there. This guy right there, it's a value. it's a value. It's a real value. Value in the education, value in the money that you have to put out for it, the value in the actual the was it tactics that you learned. We got into a lot of stuff that was a little bit more. I mean, it was
Yeah.
highly sought out. We got big accolades at the end from guys that are still doing this stuff on a regular basis. So it was really good to be out there. Rifle and tactical gear class is coming up November 18th. So if you're available for that, this is an extension of the Stop the Bleed and medical and battle class, and it's highly recommended. But again, if you come out to that class, you have to be an intermediate or better. You have to be able to work your rifle, no matter whatever happens to that rifle. You have to be able to keep it running. Okay, that's the main thing. Then you also have to listen, and you have to be able to listen really well because that's the most important part. There are things that are being done that you may think you know, but you have to do it our way, or it's the highway, and that's
Right.
it.
It's a dance, and you got to learn how to dance before you can learn how to. I mean, before you can start doing the what's the big dance? The I don't even know dances. The cha
The
cha,
lambada,
cha
the
cha,
lambada,
whatever. I don't know.
yeah, the cha cha, the lambada.
Right.
We in
Yeah.
the same boat there, with buddy.
Right. And so we'll only allow 6 people to take this class,
Hmm.
and max is 6. So if you're going to get involved now. There's a loadout to what this class is. So bring the loadout, wear what you got, bring what you got. If it doesn't work, we'll try to correct it at, once we get out there. And as we're going through stuff, long as it's not a safety issue or anything like that hindering with the training, you will continue to wear it until it breaks or whatever. But this class is it was developed on active duty, and it's been taught almost, I guess, around the world now.
Hmm.
And um, it was developed, like I said, it was developed in 90, ooh, ooh, 80s, 87. I developed this in 87, and
Dang.
a lot of the
Some of the
tac.
guys that were out there weren't
Mhm,
born there.
I know. So these taxes are from the taxes emerged from the Long Range Patrol School and the LERPS teams in the Vietnam. So
Hmm.
this was something I put together, and because I was on those one of those teams, we used these tactics and utilized them and use them in real life, and they're very good.
There was something that's funny that happened out there this week that you kind of touched on. But one of our buddies, Reggie, he was putting the gear on, and he was talking about, you guys always talking about wearing wish stuff on, and making it work. And we're like, no, that's next month. That's the next month
Oh
class.
yeah, he
But
thought it was that class. Yeah,
right, and then he said,
yeah,
but the thing was, he was going to take something off, and you're like, once you put it on, it's yours, just the rest of the
right.
class.
Yeah,
And you could see the look on his face was like, it's a whole different experience because, you go to the range, even if you're in the outdoor range, and you put your gear on, and you have a good time. You take a break, you can take it off, take it off. In this class, once you put it on, it's yours for the rest of the week. Everyone, instructors, he did the same thing. I did the same thing. All the way through.
right.
Once you put it on, it's yours. There's no taking it off for a little break and none of that. So you get a
Mm-mm.
full understanding of what your gear is. So if everybody that likes a bunch of gear and likes to wear stuff and you look great in your pictures for Instagram, and you come out and do this training, you're gonna wear it for the whole day. So if you
Hmm.
put 14 pounds of extra gear that does you nothing, well, you have those 14 pounds on for the rest of the day.
Right, and don't yeah. So
That's a 8 hour, 6 to 8 hour day. This class coming up is 8.
yeah,
Last week we were out there. We were out there the whole time.
yeah, yeah, and that's why we do it in the wintertime. So it's not so. It's you. I used to do this in the summertime, and I have people almost passing out.
Mm,
So you gotta then you gotta take a lot of breaks and do a lot of rushing at the end. So,
right.
but sign up for this and get on it now. And but like I said, we're only taking 6. And if you're not there in the first 6 and you're number 7, I'm gonna be like, I see you next year. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yep.
Because I only teach this once a year. Um, and from there, let's see. Let me get my mouse to work. Click on the laser engraving side. I do laser engraving. This is a thing on the patches, video on the patches. You can watch that. I do plaques, dog tags, AR magazines, or PMags too, and leather patches, novelty items, and glass and mirrors. So shoot me an email on that, and we go from there. I got a couple of shows that's coming up. One at a local church here in Smyrna. I have the address and stuff. It's on Veterans Day. I'll be down there. Huge church. Then we're doing the 12 days of Smyrna in not 12 days Mableton in Mableton. That I don't have to be there. It's just going to be a show doing it. So we do pretty good at the show by it's going by itself. So and that is it on that side. Thank you, WK, for watching the show on Rumble and YouTube. We see you, brother. Thank you.
Hey, tonight, I'm gonna offer this up tonight.
Okay.
Can we get one more person to like us on Rumble? We've been on 17 for about at least 2
Yes. Well, not like or subscribe. They're not
Subscribe.
subscribing. They're not subscribing.
Follow us. Whatever it
they-
is to take to
yeah.
get that 17 to bump to 18. Not 16. Go up.
Yeah, it's been we're getting you guys are doing great on Rumble on watching the show, sharing the show, and giving the thumbs up. But you guys are not subscribing to the show. We have our co-subscribers, but we need all you new people who watching the show, and it's about 25 to 30 people new every single show. And we need you guys and the old guys who are bumping the shows up over 100 views or something like that. Please subscribe to the Two Alphas Talk and help us out. Help us grow the show. And the same with YouTube. If you guys watch us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, because I showed you guys a couple weeks ago. You guys can go back and watch that last show I did, how YouTube is trying to destroy this show on YouTube. I mean, it's obvious now. And I sent Al just the latest email they sent me too, and it was even worse than the first one, you know? And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? 702, thank you for watching the show, and really appreciate that. And let's see, we can do the recap on last week's thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see, can I get this to work? We was testing it earlier.
Yeah.
And we got it to work, and now it just disappeared. So I got to bring it back up. You know, it's always funny, man, how this stuff is.
Technology.
Yeah,
technology.
You know,
when the Clone Wars or the T3 or whatever the hell the next war is going to be with technology, I'm going to be the crispest.
Oh, technology? I thought you was going to say.
I'm taking the first shot at the robots.
I thought you was going to say World War III.
No. Oh, damn. You would start off with that one. There's some soft moments going on.
Right. Let me put this over here.
And talk to the cameraman.
So I can manipulate this. There we go. All right. So now I got another screen going so I can look at all this. All right. This was last week's Stop the Bleed class. Stop the Bleed class is nothing more than triaging for bullet wounds, arms, torso, head, and legs. And we go from second chest wounds to a through and through on the arms, back, even neck wounds. Then from there, we're practicing triaging and treating for shock. Then from there, we go with how to, after lunch, how to do a drag, one person drag from the feet, arms, and 2-person drag. And it's pretty easy for some folks. Some folks it's not so easy. And but then from there, after lunch, we go and put the gear on and do a walk phase where we do a small break and contact drill. And one person goes down, 2 people pull that person back and triage, while the other 3 will lay down hate, that's fire, and close to the people triaging. So, and then we pop smoke, and the smoke goes into the general area of where the people are triaging. and it just creates more confusion.
Hmm.
And and then we'll have one of us as instructor yelling at them, telling them what to do, where is the injury, and making them hurry up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's
Because
a
at this
lot.
point, they have to dress the wound, whether it's a
Hmm.
tourniquet or Israeli bandage. They have to, once they get it, we tell them what's happening next, and
Hmm.
it's not right away. So they have to bring the person back, the injured back, to a safe position, and then look at them. And then as they're looking and making a dress, so somebody can be looking at the head, then you tell them there's a leg wound. Now they have to make it all the way down to their legs.
Right.
And you saw a lot of confusion in the beginning because it's not just a standard. Okay, go here, just go here. It's kind of like reactionary. The
Hmm.
person has to make a reaction, and then after they make the reaction, they have to do the right thing.
Right. And especially if a person who's shot and they're bleeding out, you got to act quickly
Hmm.
because they can bleed out in a minute and a half or 2 minutes. So you have to be able to listen, comprehend, and act as quickly as possible. And so and then now you got gear on, you got rifle fire going, you got smoke in the way, and now you got a real person that you laying down there with,
Hmm.
and it's not like in the beginning in the first 4 hours where it's relaxed environment. We'll bring a little chaos to it and see what happens.
Yep. And there
You
was a
know.
lot of people who, for the first time, tying an Israeli bandage, his first time using a tourniquet properly,
Hmm.
and you can see it. People tell you after you actually show them how to set it up, they're still taking the tourniquet out, and the red dot is going the opposite direction, and they're trying to work it through that. And you, nope, got to do it the
Hmm.
right way.
Hmm.
Take it off and put it back on. If it's not done right, you got to start all over. And you can see the frustration because the person doesn't understand the situation, and it's trying to be as fast as possible, but you have to be correct too. You can't just be
Hmm.
fast and wrong.
Right. Right. Well, in real life, if you got the red tab on the
Yeah,
wrong side, yeah,
keep
you just
going.
go ahead and do it.
Right.
Yeah. You can't
Hmm.
you can't back down.
No.
This is Daddy Al right here.
Mm-mm.
He was bringing some real stress to a lot of people in the background.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And this is Randy, right?
Hmm.
This is Randy and Sean in the background back there with all his hood gear on.
Hmm.
These guys were ex-Marines, and not ex-Marines. These guys were Marines. You can't say ex with Marines. You know what I'm saying?
They were active Marines. Now they're
Yeah, there was
just
active duty
Marines.
Marines that had with combat tours, several combat tours,
Yep.
and they was out there training with us, and they enjoyed the class, and it brought back memories for them. And uh, I mean, they really got into it, and it was really nice to see them come out there and learn some of the stuff.
Yep. And I've had guys that you had to back them down, let them know who's in charge. You didn't have to do
Not
that with
these
these guys.
guys. Not these guys. No,
They
they
accepted it. They accepted
right.
criticism too when they didn't do
Yeah.
right.
Right. And they was there to learn. They came with an
Yep.
open mind. And that's what you
Hmm.
got to do when you go to these classes, guys. Even
Yep.
if you have the experience, if you're going to take a class with somebody else, you got to go there with an open mind. Like if I take a shooting class with somebody else, I'm going to go there humbled and with an open mind to
Right.
learn
Yeah.
and
And if
not.
it gets to, trust me, I've been in some really SEHITD Y classes where it was like, what am I doing here? And I find something to learn. I learned something new.
Mhm.
I learned, all right, not gonna be not gonna be this instructor when it's my turn. Because I've been
Right.
in some places where it was like, yo, this dude said the same joke 7 times and it never worked. It was like, bro, let that go. It's not
Uh,
funny. And it wasn't even like an off color joke. It was just some corny thing that he kept repeating. And this was Beretta. And
mm-hmm.
he lasted 6 months, and I didn't at the time. I knew
Mm.
some people at Beretta, and I was telling them, "Hey, man, that guy knows this that he's talking about, but he just delivery's terrible." And they said, "Yeah, he's gone." I was like, "Wow!"
Oh,
I had
so
just checked on it, and
they got some complaints, a
right,
lot of complaints.
and
Yeah.
those are type of deals where it was like, wow, they're sending this guy all over the place, and you got to read the audience. You got
Hmm.
to read your audience. But at the same time, I never once, tried to one up him because it's his class. He's in charge. Let him run.
And I know a lot of you guys are wondering why we don't have a video of this. I'll explain it. I've seen some people try to steal some of the training things that we do. for almost through the pictures that we do and or the little bit of videos that we do,
Mhm.
and try to mimic that stuff online, and it doesn't even come to 50% of what we're trying to train. They're actually going to get some people hurt. And if my philosophy on if you want to learn the training, sign up for the class. You know what I'm saying? But we'll show you the skills and not the action. I mean, we'll show you the action and not the actual training. So that's why I don't allow videos to be taken in a lot of these training classes. And if it is, it's specific videos. I'll tell you, you'll be instructed when to shoot. Al knows when to shoot and when not to
Right.
shoot. You know what I'm saying? So,
And there's a few videos on Instagram where guys had snippets, but those are like what's that, talking guns,
mhm.
and the crazy minutes, all that stuff. So it's not like the actual movement and assessments and things like that.
Right. Yeah. And here's a drag as a foot drag. If the person upper torso is damaged, you'll do a foot drag, but grabbing them by the ankles and and dragging the person out of immediate danger.
Yep. And that guy that was being dragged, Reggie, if you watch it, he was dragged a lot.
Yeah,
He got a lot of dragging miles.
there's a reason behind that. Reggie is our videographer.
And not only that, but he's the lightest. He was the lightest person out there, so everybody's like, "Oh, I'll work with Reggie."
Right. So Reggie wasn't planning on training that day. Reggie thought he was going to shoot video, and so I was like, "Nope, you're training." And he was very shocked. He appreciated what he learned that day.
Oh,
He
man.
thanked me so much.
hmm
And
and to a lot of these guys, like Ralph here as well, it was the first time ever doing anything like that
mhm.
at all.
Right. Yeah, he learned a lot.
Mhm.
These guys got to get some gear. I don't know if they go any farther, if they with the stuff that they have on will
Right.
be capable of taking them any farther.
Yep, they
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
This the medical class opened their eyes as to, okay, I got to do this next. And, if you're
Mhm.
really serious about this, not only do you need a plate carrier, but you at
Mhm.
least need a chest rig.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it definitely was eye opener because a lot of times guys can get away with it because they're doing it for the gram. You just need one magazine, one rifle, run through some drills, and it looks great. But then when
Mhm.
you come out to a class like this and you need at least 5 magazines. We were nice to them with 3 magazines for this class, but in the next class you need at least 5 magazines.
Oh, you gotta have
Preferably
six.
7.
You gotta have six. You gotta have
See?
six.
Mhm.
Six, and one in the rifle is 7.
Right.
So you gotta have that on you.
Right.
At all. Yeah. So
And that's what I'm saying. So when they recognize that, they have adapted, and Black Friday I think came sooner than they wanted it to come.
oh, that's what they were
That's
talking
what
about.
Black Friday. That's
So
what they
they
were
was
talking
buying stuff. They was buying gear.
about.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is one
Israel.
of the battle drills. This is
Mhm.
Israel. He was laying down some hate with that loud rifle he has, and you can see the smoke from the background behind me, guys. And there's the smoke grenade, and it was smoking out Randy. I think he was really enjoying.
I think
standing
he
right
loved
there.
that smell.
Yeah.
He missed it. He missed that smell.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. This is Al back there putting torture on him and making them work.
Just words.
Yeah, and making them work. And that's an excellent photograph right there of those two working on triage and somebody.
Right.
This is Al's cousin.
Mhm.
She was out there laying down some hate too. She enjoyed it because I was watching her. She was doing a lot of smiling,
Mhm.
and
Yep. When she went through basics, I think it was the last time she actually fired a gun. So
okay,
getting out there, she understood the how to get it going, but actually getting the chance to do it was a real, blast.
right. And there's the Motley Crew, and we're out there, and that was us that day. And you can see everybody's got happy faces or stoic faces, and so everybody had a good time.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that last picture. Yeah, there's the last picture. There's us again. Look at Randy. I didn't even realize he was laying.
Yeah, he fell in love.
Yeah. So we had a great time. You guys missed
Yep.
a great class. Like I said, these classes are limited on when I'm going to teach them. Usually it's once a year.
Mhm.
And so if you guys can take advantage of it next year, come on out. You'll definitely learn something. If I'm still above ground, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
To
and
teach
if,
this
if
stuff.
not, you can get a group of your folks together and let them know we're gonna train. Give us a call and we'll set something up for you.
We'll set that class up specially for you guys. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And if you have an office, you want to have an office outing, you have a church group, or if you have your family, you want to train and learn how to fight together and all this other good stuff. Yeah, we'll
Yep.
do it. And
Even if you
we
just
all,
wanted to stop the bleed part, because
yeah,
that's more important than anything else, not just for gunshot wounds.
and we also have that stop the bleed class for concealed carry too. So we can do it
Hmm.
with pistols, and it's the you don't have to have all that tactical gear and stuff like that. You can do it with pistols, and we'll show you how to deploy your pistols, put them away, work on somebody, and all kinds of good stuff in a safe manner. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Good
don't
stuff.
don't be afraid to train. You know.
Hmm.
And speaking of that, I wanted to talk about we are live on YouTube, we are live on Twitch, we are live on the Mighty Rumble. And guess what, Al? We're still live on.
Kick.
Am I? We're still live on Kick. Yep, I still see it moving. Yeah, we're
Okay.
live. We're live on Kick. I don't know how we're still there, but we're still there. You know what I'm saying? It is amazing. All right, so let's get down into the meat of this subject here.
Right.
So, there we go. And make sure my mixer was right. So, do you carry around in the chamber, or do you carry around
All
not in
right.
the
Let's do
chamber?
this before we get into it. If you're watching right now, go ahead and put that in the comments. Put in the comments yes or no if you carry one in the chamber. I want to see something. And any
Okay.
whatever whichever one you're on. If you're on Rumble, if you're on Kick, if you're on YouTube, just put in the chats before we even started. Dedicate yourself to one or the other. Some of you
Mm-hmm.
guys, you may learn something. Somebody it may open your eyes to something else, or you may stick with what you've been doing.
If the
And if you
guys are
do,
still
real quick, say why. Say why you don't. I've heard a lot of new people say that they don't carry one in the chamber because they're not ready yet.
okay, so they probably all sleep right now. So Omar, thank you for watching the show and coming on here, man. We missed you last Saturday out there, but I know you had to work, so
Mm.
I'll be down to see you soon.
Man, he gotta make a pickup, make a
Yeah,
run.
I'll be down to see you soon. I don't know what I have coming, but I got something. I'm gonna get something coming. Yes. WK said yes every
God
god
damn
damn
day.
day.
Yes to what? Did you carry one in the chamber or
Long dread, absolutely,
absolutely one in the chamber? For all these are saying absolutely and
or two in the
goddamn, that's
chamber.
one in the
Well, you
chamber.
carry one or two in the chamber. I carry three in the chamber, so you know
Wow,
that's
you're
the
some kind of weirdo.
yeah.
Right. So the reason why I say that is that I've met a number of people who have said that they're not ready to carry one in the chamber. So they carry a empty chamber but a loaded magazine.
Hmm.
And we all seen that adage and the memes where it says, you know, what do you drive and then anticipate putting a seatbelt on right before an accident, which is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
That's the same thing when you're carrying an empty chamber. What I always related to when I'm talking to new people is when I first started carrying firearms, it was a revolver. There was no safety on the revolver, so you automatically you carried with the revolver was chambered. There was six cylinders. Each cylinder had a cartridge in it, and there was no thought of, oh, I need a safety on this gun. No, you don't. You keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot.
WK said lock, cocked, and ready to rock.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like in this day and age, you have people who are actually training people to carry empty chamber.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of trainers out there that are encouraging people to carry empty chamber and chamber when you need it.
Mm.
I mean, this is not a movie, and you guys have probably seen this. When you watch a movie, and you know the bad guy or the good guy, whoever is the one with the gun, all of a sudden they get to a door and they. So you've been walking around this whole time with an empty gun,
But if you
or
watch the movies, they do that every single time they go to a door.
exactly, or
Every
the other
door.
one where the guy is chasing this guy for the last 15 minutes of the movie or whatever the chase scene is. Then all of a
Before you get
sudden,
ready to
once you get
shoot
in, he chambers around and nothing falls out, and it's like, whoa! So you've
right.
been chasing this guy this whole time with
But
no.
you, like I said, you see him do it again
Oh
later
yeah,
on.
yeah, that too. That
Yeah.
or the one that we talk about movie stuff. He raised the gun and it goes like, what was
Right.
that?
Right.
And on top of it, it's a Glock. Like
Right.
Glock doesn't even have single action. Like what? Like okay. And I'm
Yeah.
not even talking about the Toomey movies. I'm talking about the some of these first rate movies.
Now, what I'm finding
Mm-hmm.
on that, I find more experienced people carry one in the chamber
Mm-hmm.
than an inexperienced person. I'm talking about a person now, the experience level. I'm talking about from beginner to intermediate. Usually don't carry one in the chamber. I notice intermediates to advanced usually carry one in the chamber.
Right.
And those are people who have a little bit more confidence and comfortability with carrying that gun and thinking, because I go through, you go through as an instructor, you see people, you tell them to buy a Glock, and there's a reason to buy a Glock. It's not just because of the brand, it's because of the way it's designed.
Right.
And the design is the safeties in the trigger. And for me, trying to teach a new shooter to deal with the safety outside of the trigger, and it creates confusion because they're not going to train with it. They're not going to sit at home and in the dark and train with picking that gun up and taking the safety off and pull the trigger. They're not going to do it. So and when it's time to need it. So now you're adding another uncomfortable thing because they're thinking, well, if I have one in the chamber, the gun's going to go off.
Right.
And so because it's cocked, it's ready to go, and I don't have a safety. And they all think that Glocks don't have safeties. They have safeties, and they just don't feel comfortable carrying it because they think it's going to go off and shoot somebody or whatever. The gun is going to, And I'm just like, come on, you guys are.
That's part of the unknowing. That's what they come to us for. But I've also had people who, even after training with an holster, loaded firearm in the holster, drawing a loaded firearm, fully loaded, not just one in the chamber. I'm sorry, one in the magazine. And then when they leave, the next time I talk to them, they went back to nothing in the chamber.
Because they didn't feel comfortable.
They didn't feel comfortable without me standing behind them saying, okay, do this, do that, whatever, load the gun in certain steps of that nature. They didn't feel comfortable. And it's like, wow, like, come on back. We got to do this over because
it's not going to help. It's not going to change. The only way it change, they have to have a lot of training in order to break that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Them coming out to the range once or twice is not going to break it.
And that's true too. My thing is I do the full magazine, one round at a time, drawing out of the holster, present to the target, and fire one round. Come down to the ready, make an assessment, holster, do that again. So that way they get the repetitions of drawing the gun, drawing the gun. So that you see every time you drew the gun, it didn't fire just because you took it out. And you have your hand on the grip.
Right.
So trying to get people to be more comfortable with the firearm. Because it's sad.
Yeah, it's very difficult with today's media and what's going on in society, where people are telling people guns are bad and the gun is the correct problem. And WK say even as IDF is now carrying one in the chamber as before they were on an empty chamber. Yeah, because Mossad was teaching the empty chamber rule.
Yep.
And
they used to draw and chamber.
At the same time.
Chamber at the same time. Yep.
and they were pretty good at it, but they
Mhm.
practiced thousands and thousands and
Right.
thousands of times. So for you, the average person, to thinking you're going to you you're going to stop, draw, and you going to remember to chamber if you
But it
haven't
goes back to
practiced
what
it?
you just said, Al. It goes
Yeah.
right back to what you said. The same maneuver that you'd have to do to get one in the chamber is the same maneuver you'd have to do to take the safety off.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing because if you don't take the safety off and you're pulling the
You
trigger
ain't
and
put
nothing's happening, you think the gun's broken.
right. Yeah, you're gonna sit there and be messing with the trigger, and you're gonna stop and look at the gun, and by that time you're dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Or
or
and
that
if you had
person's
to drop on somebody, which is even worse, you had to drop on somebody, you just let them know where you were.
you
Aha!
know, yeah, you
Oh
don't have to
shit!
drop now.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, if that person's close enough to you, they can grab it and wrestle that gun out from your hand and chamber one and shoot you in the face or whatever.
Right.
You know what
Or
I'm
take the
saying?
safety off your own damn gun and do go to work.
Yeah, and go to work. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, people got to get more comfortable with firearms. I don't, you know, like I said, it's hard because you're fighting society norm. It's not a norm. Society lies, basically. You know that the gun is going to sit on the table, jump off, pistol whip
Hmm.
you, get drunk,
Rob you.
drive a car,
Hmm.
go, rape your wife, whatever, and
Hmm.
it's all the gun's fault. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep.
The WK said pistols with safeties or without a safety. Me, no safety. Well, I prefer to have a safety, and the reason being,
An
I like
external safety is what he's saying. An
external
external
safety.
safety. He's
Oh,
not
okay.
saying with no safeties at all. He's saying like a 1911 safety or the safety that are on Smith and Wessons,
Mm-hmm.
like a lever where you have to move the lever
Oh,
in order to
okay.
fire it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. You can carry it like that. With the new safeties today that the Glock design that everybody's copying,
Hmm.
the safety locks the firing pin. You can drop a Glock with a round in the chamber or throw it across the street and it will not go off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guns like SIG, yeah, and
Hmm.
you drop them and throw them across the street, and that thing is to be shooting everybody. You
Right.
know, and
Anytime it bounces, is another round
yeah,
fired.
it goes off. Yeah, it
Hmm.
will chamber another round.
Right.
That is funny. You know what I'm saying? Or the
Hmm.
gun just immediately goes off. A lot of law enforcement's been shot that way.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
and it just goes off by itself. You
Hmm.
know, so that gun is possessed.
Only way I would agree with a safety is the 1911 or any of its variants. The staccato, the prodigy, guns of that design, yeah, because you can carry it in single action. So if it's
Hmm.
not a single action, you got striker fire, or you have a double action only gun. No need a safety. No need. Keep your
Well,
finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot.
yeah, which is true. Keep
Hmm.
your finger off the trigger till you're ready to shoot. You really don't need it. Safety should be that's your safety.
Hmm. And
And
if
yeah, and get a good holster. There's another reason.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a little late. Oh, a little late. But what's the topic? What's tonight's topic? Um, um, tonight's topic is carrying around in the chamber, pros and cons, and do you carry around in the chamber and why? And that's your question to you, Strap House.
And put that in the comments, Stress House.
Put it in the cop out.
Go
Yeah.
ahead and commit yourself. Commit
Hmm.
yourself to one or the other.
Right. If you don't keep one in the chamber, why? If you
Hmm.
do keep one in the chamber, why?
Yep.
And I was at the gun store today. A guy came in. Um, he wanted to see, I think, a Springfield pistol. The young lady took it out the back, and I guess he wanted to see the safety on it. So she put a magazine in it, put the safety down, pulled the trigger, nothing happened, right? He was like, wow. She took the magazine out, was going to hand him the gun, and the guy was like, I'm afraid to touch this thing. You know, he was like, I'm so nervous, I'm afraid to touch it. And I looked down at him and I was like, oh my God, what is going on there?
I can imagine your look.
So when he grabbed the gun, guess where his finger went?
Straight
and
to the
that trigger.
trigger.
Yeah, straight to the trigger. And it was pointed at us. And we were looking at him. And then at the end, she told him, we have some classes that you can take for beginners, right? So this guy, this is what YouTube has done to these fools. Okay. He persisted to ask her, is the guy teaching the class has a military background? Yeah.
What's
He
that got to
said,
do with anything?
and she said, no, they don't. He said, well, I'm looking for somebody with a military background for basic
Training.
safety training course. And I was like, she gave him the business card. He left. He said, I'll think about this, you know. And I talked to her after, and I told him, I said, what this clown just did, he was looking at stuff on YouTube, and he just tried to what's the word we always say? Vet. He tried to vet the
Oh,
instructor,
okay.
and not realizing military, if you're not Navy SEAL, Special Forces, or an MP or a shot competition in the Army, your basic skills of dealing with a pistol is very limited.
Right.
So I didn't understand why he wanted a military guy,
They
because
don't know
only
no
thing,
better.
and then you can only go with guys who had combat MOSs with the rifles. You know what I'm saying? And but they're not gonna have a lot of them. Not gonna have a lot of pistols. So it's like it wasn't even making any sense what he
Right.
was asking. You know what I'm saying?
But some of the best guys that have been firearms teachers and pioneers or whatever were not law enforcement or military.
Yeah, they were civilians.
Civilians. And they
I
studied
have
it.
met Ronald Reagan. Was it Ronald Reagan? Yeah, Ronald Reagan's sniper team for the president.
Oh, I
Snipers.
said you met Ronald Reagan? Damn.
Ronald Reagan. I met Ronald Reagan. I met Ronald Reagan. Believe it or not, I met Ronald Reagan. I didn't get to shake his hands, but I was 15 feet from him. And so I met his sniper team, and his sniper team was civilians. Yeah, neither one of them was in the military, and their targets of opportunity was 800 yards out. That's what they started looking.
Right.
Yeah. So civilians can shoot better than military when it comes down to a
In
lot of
most
stuff.
cases, yeah.
Right.
You know, when I first started doing competitions, I would go out, and it was back then IPSC was the name of the game, and they would, you know, I just went out as a guy, and they didn't know me. I didn't go out. Oh, I'm, you know, corporal and the police and none of that. So just went out and shot. A couple of guys that I started to get friendly with, you know, we started practicing and getting together. You know, it was indoor ranges, but we still get together and we were shooting together. And they were like, "Wow, man," you know, because they knew who I was. They were like, "You know, we don't meet many police officers that shoot like this." And I'm like, "Okay, you know, I understand." And as the more we started to travel and go to different clubs to shoot, I learned, and this is in Maryland and Virginia area, most shooters knew police officers didn't shoot. They were mandatory shoot twice a year. You know, the two qualifications, and some were doing it once a year in the very beginning. And I
Same
started
with
in
the
1986.
surprise. Same with the military.
It was once
Yeah.
a year qualification with your handgun, and if you had any other guns like SWAT, they totally different. But these are just, you know, regular patrol officers, regular, you know, detective type guys, once a year. And these guys were just like enamored that I was out there with them. But every time we went somewhere, I would hear all the comments about, oh, cops and this, cops and all that. And then the guys that knew me, they would just kind of giggle and laugh like, yeah, they don't know who you are. And they would just, I mean, they were bash police officers, bash military guys, you know, talking about unsafe tactics and things like that nature. But these are guys that just shot on the range and they just shot competition. So the rules for that are a little bit tighter, right? Because you get so many different type of people out there, so you have to have real stringent rules. I brought a buddy, and I got to this point. I got a buddy who was a SWAT member, and I told him before we went out there, "Hey, look, man, listen to all the rules, follow the directions because these guys are sticklers on safety. And what he did was he fired the course, and then when he finished firing the course, he reached over with his left hand to open his holster, which was on those flappy leather inside the waistband holsters.
He flagged himself.
And he flagged himself. And you know,
They went nuts.
Donnie, the range master, lost his mind. And this dude is like, "Who are you talking to?" And I had to get him like, "Hey, look, man, that's what I was telling you about. You know, just let him have it."
It's a game.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, he was pissed. Like, "Who you little motherfucker talking about? Don't talk to me like that." And I was like, "It's okay, bro. Just let it roll." But these are the type of things that we talk about. Like and I've seen officers who did two hands to draw and two hands to holster, and it's like, but it's a different scenario. It's different. When we talked about this before, where officers are doing some type of search, and one officer may walk in front of another and get real close to what we
You see it all the time. You see it all the time.
But
yeah.
in what we did when we were range directors or match directors, you got to stop that.
Right, you got to stop that.
Stop that immediately. It is.
Right.
There's no way you can let that go. And that's the same thing with you. The point made me think about this is the guy grabbing the gun. I see so many people, and it was something you said over the weekend. You told them stop. They were showing off a gun or whatever. You told them put that away.
Yeah,
it's the intention is good, but the results may be disastrous.
right. Yeah,
that's the thing. You never, we all say, "Well, yeah, I do it perfectly every time." You never know. You never
Right.
know. You never
yeah,
know.
yeah. So, Strap House says he sure do keep one in the chamber. If you stay ready,
you don't have to get ready.
right? Okay, yeah. And
So, and again, you mentioned it a little bit while ago too. Everyone, for the most part, that we know most of the guys here, and if not, we've met them before. Intermediate and above, advanced shooters as well. So it's kind of like one of those deals where we're preaching to a choir right now. Because all these guys would agree with us. You got to have one in the chamber in order to be effective. When we start talking to those people who don't, and I know somebody in Alabama, Range 351, who promotes both. He carries sometimes none in the chamber, and he has a bunch of videos on his Instagram. If you go to Range 351, you'll see where he gets it. He does somebody with one in the chamber. They put up a time. He does his little thing with chamber one round before firing, and he's really close. My point to him every time we get in this debate is that although you're recreating a similar time when this person is, what about when somebody draws on you and you have to move and shoot? Standing there and I draw from concealment or even an open carry holster, and then you do the same thing. That's one thing, but now you got somebody you see reaching for a gun, and as they're reaching for the gun, you have to draw your gun and chamber the gun.
And takes the safety off.
And take the safety off. That puts you behind the curve now.
Yeah.
Where if I see somebody moving and they're reaching for a gun, or I believe that they're reaching for a gun, and I go for mine, I'm going straight to the gun, straight to the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to the slide, make sure and what happens if you straw stroke that?
Oh yeah, you just got the double feed.
Right, you're nervous. All kind of shit. I don't.
Or what if you go to strike it, charge it, and you know how this thumb gets in the way and hit that magazine release, and that magazine hit the ground.
You got one shot.
Yeah,
maybe.
You got one in the chamber. It just has happened, and it does happen all the time.
And that's scary. That's scary.
So,
I felt the fear roll over me at matches where something like that happens. So imagine what reality. Never been in reality, but I've been at matches where I do something real fast and I see the magazine drop and I got a second and third magazine to go to, but like, fuck, imagine if
right. And some people don't go that way. They'll go down and pick up that magazine,
right,
and expose their dome. Because now you're looking at the magazine and not the target.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So let that magazine go down there. 702 Transplant says safeties are nothing more than a training opportunity. My EDC has one in the chamber and the thumb operated safety.
Okay,
Okay, so that must be a Smith and Wesson.
maybe Smith and Wesson 6 hour.
Yeah,
The 320, I think one of those big
yeah,
ones has it.
yeah.
And
And
I agree with him with the safety opportunity. I mean the training opportunity. Yeah,
right,
but how many dedicated gun owners out there are going to train to proficiency and beyond
they don't.
with a safety? That's my
They don't.
point.
They
Yep.
don't. They don't.
Hmm.
And you how you know if I get a person out there and I say, how long you had this gun? Well, I've had it for 6 months, over 3 months. I had it for a year, and they got a holster and all this gear. I said, okay, give me 6 rounds and 2 rounds in each different target with 6 rounds. I want you to reload and give me 6 more 2 rounds in each target.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see what you can do. And
Yeah,
that's how you can.
that's the assessment. That's the same thing
Yeah.
Omar and I do, and we do
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. All it takes is 6 rounds. Go 2-2-2 and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right, with everything on it. Little Noah got upset whatever when the meet and greet because I made him lock his holster up, and that's when he went back and changed because he had
Mm.
a SLS Safari Land on it, but he kept the hood open.
Oh, you made him lock it.
But it was a level 3 holster, so he had one on his finger, right? So it was still locked in even with the hood up. But then
Right.
I go way back with him. I knew him when
Yeah.
he was probably like 8 years old, and he's 20 something years now. But
Right.
anyway, I made it, and that's when he said, "Okay, I got you." So he went and put the one on where all he needed was the index finger
Right.
because he's a gear whore. He's got gear for days.
Yeah.
So he said, "Okay, I'll fix you." So next thing I look back and I see the holster, and I'm about to say, "Hey, where's a?" Oh, okay. He changed holsters on me. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
He said,
But
I
the
got you.
thing was, if you're gonna come out with it, you can't go half step. You put the whole gear on, all the gear on. Same thing with the assessment. If you bring a holster that has a level 3 um uh a holster, you got to run it through the level 3 holster
Or
every
if you're coming
time.
out to the range and you have a thumb safety on your
Hmm.
gun and you're not using that thumb safety, and if I see you, I'm gonna make you use it.
Hmm.
You know. So if you're not training with that thumb safety, you're gonna put that thumb safety on when I'm
Right.
standing there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you're
Yep.
gonna manipulate it.
That's the same thing with the guy with the what's that one? What's that? You were talking about it. The CZ Shadow.
Oh
Was
yeah,
it
yeah, the
Shadow?
shadow.
Same
Yeah.
thing like that.
I think he
I
paid
made
too
him do
much
the
for
same
it.
thing because
Yeah.
Israel. He had to
Yeah.
use the safety on that, and it's
Mhm.
not a decocker. It
No,
doesn't
it
decocker.
is not a
It's like
decocker.
it's a hybrid of a 1911 and some type of SIG because it's weird.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
does not. In order to get the hammer to drop, you either pull the trigger or you ride it up.
Yeah,
That's
and he
it.
wasn't doing that. And so
Hmm.
what happened was he was running with a hot hammerback, safety
Hmm.
off the
Right.
whole time. You know what I'm saying? And I was
Hmm.
like, oh Lord, no, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Hmm. Yeah,
especially
but
with one in the chamber.
after that, he got it together. He got it
Yeah.
together because it is back to what 702 said. Nothing more than a training
And
opportunity
opportunity.
because now you have to do the same thing over and over and over again. So every time you draw that gun, you got to
Hmm.
make sure you put that safety down.
Right.
And the crazy
Exactly.
part is that's a right-handed gun and he's left-handed.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Looks awkward.
Hmm. Yeah,
Very, very awkward.
yeah. The world
So
is made for right-handed people.
yes, it is. Yeah, left-handed people need to go someplace.
Need to go to the right side. Go to the
But
right side.
yeah, yeah, carry if you can't carry one in the chamber, get a lot of training to get yourself comfortable because it's going to save you in the long run.
Hmm.
Especially if you're at home, you got kids in there, just put your gun in a lockbox or something like that. But keep one still in the chamber. You know what I'm saying? And um, you know, if you carry it on your hip, I mean, it's not going to do you any good if you pull it out. I gotta charge. What if I can't even get to my left hand to charge it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I can be driving, and I need to draw and shoot while I'm driving. So now
Hmm.
you think I'm gonna draw, charge, and keep driving, and shoot? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come
Right.
on, you can draw and go to work just that quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get out of the trouble. You know, so what if you got something in your hand? You know what I'm saying? Now I got to drop, I got to draw, drop, I got to draw, drop, charge, and then try to get either one hand or both hands on target. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
just a waste of a lot of action. You know what I'm saying? When I can just come straight out, drop, and just go straight into the work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, the thing also too, and I know you do this, is that in order to be able to make these type of analogies or give our opinion about it, you got to shoot them. So I
Yeah.
shoot 1911s. I shoot revolver still. Every once in a while, if a client comes out and they have a safety on their gun, I'll throw some rounds in that gun and shoot it with that safety because I want to see what it feels like, so I can explain it to that person that did it with the CZ. You know, it's like
I just
and
tell them
then
go buy another gun. So,
see, there you go. Damn.
let's make it easy. You know, yeah. This is what I have. Watch me do this. You know what I'm saying? Now that's time.
This
I'm
guy.
I'm not gonna go down to their level and do it. It's just I understand
You.
what you're saying.
Hmm.
You familiarize yourself with different tools, so you're capable of doing that. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not
Yeah,
putting
you have to because like in Israel's situation, he's left-handed and he's shooting a gun that really doesn't
chamber
give a damn
for right
about
hand.
left-handed people. That CZ don't give a damn if you're left-handed. The magazine release is only on one side, and it's on the right side. It's actually on the left side of the gun, so it's in the palm of his hand when he's,
But he can get all that changed over. Can you?
Nope, nope. It's made. So I'm telling you, I looked. It's
Okay.
made for a right-handed person. This is
Okay.
the older design. It's the CZ, the Shadow 2, but it's not. There's no. All the indentations are on the left side of the gun.
Mm,
There's no room for any exchange. It's like, damn, they didn't give a damn what hand you are. But
okay.
but working his knuckle, and then chambering it, we're switching hands. I mean, it is terrible, bro. I mean, there's some guns out there that are kind of like the Beretta 92 FS and some of the newer ones. They allow you to at least switch the magazine release to the opposite side.
Hmm.
Most of the newer guns are made now. They have slide releases on both sides of the gun. Not this
Hmm.
one. Not this one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you guys missed out on the
Medical.
yeah, the medical class we had. It was an excellent class. You guys need to come out to some of those classes. We threw smoke, and we had a good turnout
That was
of
fun.
people that came out and had a lot of fun. And our next class is coming out is Stop the Bleed. Not Stop the Bleed. Rifle Tactical Gear on November 18th. And that is a intermediate to advanced class. You got to have some type of tac gear where you can hold 6 magazines on your body and one in the rifle. And also you need to have, I think it's 6 pistol magazines or something like that. And you're not going to carry all 6, but you're just going to carry 3. But I guess the other one's a backup just in case you break some. And that's also that's on November 18th. We are on. Let me change the music so we know what's happening here. We are on. We are on. Can you hear it? There it is.
There we
We're
go.
on. We're on YouTube. We're on Kick. We're on Rumble and Twitch. So you guys go support YouTube and Rumble. Give us a thumbs up on those channels. Also on Rumble itself, please go to Rumble. If you're watching Rumble, listen to us. If you're watching Rumble, subscribe, get a login, and subscribe to the U2 Alphas Talk channel so we can get
The followers.
the followers up. And you guys are doing a great job of watching the show and giving us a thumbs up. And the same thing on YouTube. You guys are doing the same thing. You're watching the show and giving us thumbs up. Just YouTube sucks. And but Rumble is giving us true numbers of what the shows are doing. So all you new people who are just now tuning into the show, just now following us, please, please, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. It doesn't hurt you, doesn't cost a penny. You know, just listening.
And it really helps.
Yeah. And thank you for the people on Facebook who shared our last show and watching and following us. And hopefully you guys will do a lot more of that. And got any questions or comments, shoot them on the YouTube or Rumble, and we'll answer them. Or if you have a topic we want us to talk about and you want to chime in and even call in the next round show, you can do that. Also, next week's show will be on the 7th, Tuesday night. We no longer will be doing Saturday night shows after today, right?
For a while, yeah.
After tonight. So we're going to be going into the Tuesday night shows and or Sunday shows. So we will keep you posted and we'll give you a heads
that
up.
Notification bell so when it comes up, we'll see.
Yep. Click that notification bell on both YouTube and Rumble. And it will come up because I got the notifications myself on both of them. So you can't say they wasn't working. They were working. Got anything, Al?
Hey, man. Support the Second Amendment.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Support the Second Amendment and support
if you
it
don't have bear protection, go get it.
Yep.
Right to bear.
Right. So that was good. That was a good segue. That's cool. I like that. Al's on top of shit. That's why I like this brother. All right, guys. We'll see you on the range.
See you on the range, guys.